This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
You all ready for this? Dun 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 dun. No.
Y'all,
Just
this
stop.
is a sham. Welcome to DBL. Happy Friday. Hello, ladies.
Hello, gentlemen.
Stephanie, you're the only one who didn't do that back.
Oh, really? I'm so sorry.
All right, ladies, let's get to it. Britney Spears has officially tied the knot. Steph?
And I'm buzzing.
She's been partying all day. And we're going to talk about that in a sec. But first, her big day was almost completely ruined. Check this out. Jason Alexander from Seinfeld, who was Britney's first husband. Oh, no, it's a different guy. Who was Britney's first husband back in 2004. That kind of looks like Sam, doesn't it? Or am I being weird? I'm weird.
You're being weird.
She might have a type.
Yeah, she was married for 55 hours before they annulled the marriage. Crashed her wedding just hours before the ceremony. And get this, he live streamed the whole thing. Take a look.
First husband, here to crash it. No, my name's Jason Alexander. Britney invited me here. Britney Spears invited me here. She's my first wife, my only wife. I'm her first husband. I'm here to crash the wedding because nobody's here but Sam.
What?
What is he talking?
Jason got into a physical altercation with Britney's security and was wrestled to the ground. Seen here in this photo from TMZ, has been charged with trespassing, vandalism, and 2 counts of battery.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, he assaulted, resisted arrest.
What was his end game is what I want to know.
What's more like
Clout.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
clout.
right. So he got what he wanted?
Yeah, it's giving very much like he's at a bar and he's sitting at the end like, you know who I am? Google Britney Spears' first husband. That's me. You see? That's me. He's that guy.
I love those
He's that
guys.
guy.
Like the guys at Buffalo Wild Wings when the UFC comes on and they're like, what? Like, what? Sit back down, Britney Spears' husband.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
No, I just feel for Britney. I mean, does she not get one day? This woman, does she not get one day of happiness? Just, as is very famously said, just leave Britney alone.
I was committed. I like that.
Oh,
I cannot follow that. That was perfect.
Seriously.
I just do think it's funny that what Erica said earlier is that he did announce that he was going to crash the wedding. I thought that was like particularly stupid of him.
Isn't it? Britney's probably like, finally I get my day, right? And then this guy's got to show up back in my life. All right, so
does it not say enough that she annulled the wedding to you after not even like a couple of days, hon? I mean, she doesn't want you there. What are you doing? You look a fool.
we got that. Despite her ex crashing the wedding, the ceremony went ahead as planned. Britney walked down the aisle to Elvis Presley's. Can we just say Elvis?
Yeah.
Is there another Elvis?
No, Elvis Jones from Kennebunkport.
We're not going to confuse them.
Okay.
The Elvises can't help falling in love. Before the couple wed in front of 60 guests, the bride wore a custom wedding design dress by Donatella Versace, who was also in attendance, and close friends Paris Hilton, who wore the star-spangled black dress to the celebration, posted to Instagram saying fairy tales do exist. Oh, well, thank you for that extra tidbit. Other guests include Paris's mom, Kathy, Madonna, Drew Barrymore, and Selena Gomez. But it was who didn't show that has some people talking. Britney's mom, sister Jamie Lynn, and her estranged father, who were not invited. Her two sons with ex Kevin Federline were not there either. Not only family members there. What? I don't know. Her brother Brian wasn't there. This is getting out of control. Oh, he was there?
He was the only one.
Oh, I thought he actually didn't make it.
No, he did. The kids didn't make it, but her brother was the only one who made it.
Yes.
Oh, why did I read somewhere like he left?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know what I was saying.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was saying.
That's normal.
Maybe we should stick to the script next time. I'll check it out and edit that down. All right, so what do we think about this list?
Yeah, well, if people aren't for you, they're against you. Especially on your wedding day.
I completely agree.
So obviously, we all know the situation with her family. It's a very volatile situation. And I think it is important, as you said earlier, that she gets at least one day. Also, a 60-person wedding is not a small wedding.
No.
I mean, that really encompasses most people's circles when it comes down to like friends, families, all of that. So I think it's a great way to do it. My husband and I got married. There were 56 people there, and it was amazing. We actually got to spend time with everyone.
Oh, that's so nice. I love that. Now, I think 60 people, like Erica said, that's a lot of people. If you can count 60 people that are truly your friends, your family, you can rely on them.
I don't have 60
Then I think you're a very very lucky person, to be honest. And these are people that have all publicly stood up for Britney as well. Paris has made it very clear on her feelings on how Britney was treated. But I'm here for the extras, like the fact that Madonna and Britney recreated their kiss at the wedding, as you do. And I'm also here for the fact that she didn't have a first dance with Sam. She had a first dance with Madonna and Selena, and it was to Toxic, her own song.
Is it sad that some of her best friends are celebrities? Am I looking too much into that?
When you're that famous, you're not going to be friends with Joe Bloggs on the street or whoever that, you know, works down the road at the local CVS, are you? You're going to be friends with similar circles.
And to add to that, I think she was really isolated and wasn't really allowed to have a lot of social interactions for a very long time.
Yeah, you got to think how long she's been famous since she was a kid.
Right. Like, she's been famous her entire life, and these are people who can actually understand. You see what happens when you bring the hometown homie, or the hometown homie decides to crash your wedding. Like, there was a semblance of like where she came from, and that dude tried to crash. So now you see why she doesn't have more people that she's brought up since day one, because everybody who she's been with since day one has tried to take advantage of her.
Touche. Okay, so Valerie Bertinelli broke down on Today while talking to Hoda and Jenna. The Food Network star got emotional when body image came up in their conversation. Let's have a look.
So I know that this weight is protecting me right now, and when I get healthier internally and emotionally, that the weight will come off, because I know I'm treating my body better. I'm drinking less alcohol. I'm eating less sugar. I'm putting more vegetables into my body. But my body is doing this for a reason, and because it needs protection.
So Valerie said her body will lose that weight when she's healthier, both mentally and physically. I feel like like the story just kind of keeps going in a circle with Valerie. I feel bad for her.
Well, I think she's in a major step in her life right now because she's being transparent with her truth in total vulnerability. And obviously this is something that is affecting her. I do believe that your body protects you, whether it's an aesthetic or aesthetic representation of that protection, or it's a mental representation of that protection. But the fact that she's doing this in real time out loud, I really felt her in that moment. I think we've all been there at a certain point, whether it's weight or it's something, you know, like in our mind. So I think she's speaking to a lot of people.
I really understood her too here. And I do think the body holds on to trauma. And when you hold on to trauma, I'm talking cellular level. And when you get to cellular level, that's at the fat level, and that's at metabolism. So I 100% understand. Does she need to, I'm not saying it's all mental, but I definitely think the body is a living thing and will protect itself when needed. I really do.
Yeah, we're alive. We're people.
Oh my God, I made such a beautiful point.
I agree with what both the girls are saying, honestly, and I think it's so beautiful that she's being so open and transparent and so vulnerable on television. A lot of people don't do that, and a lot of people will be like slamming her or saying like, why can't she lose the weight, or she doesn't look a certain way. And I think it's so important to have representatives that are open and honest. And everyone says, oh, you need to have a beach body or a summer body or like a best version of yourself. Well, how about she's just happy how she is, and she's working through whatever it is she's going through in her own time. It's not for anyone else to judge and say you should be a certain size or a certain weight, or your BMI is this. Like, let her deal with whatever she's going through and in her own time.
And how long it takes, I think, is the most important.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. We're not all going to be paying liposurgery to like suck it out of us like other celebs do. She's being real.
Absolutely. Coming up
and
on...
lie and say it's olive oil or something, or a diet.
Or it's tea. Tea's a good one. Jennifer Lopez slams her 2020 halftime show with Shakira, why she's calling it the worst idea in the world. Plus, why this health and science journalist is pushing back on the body positive movement, what we were just talking about. Stick around.
Closed captioning provided by...
This June, DBL isn't holding back.
I've already spent my time and all of my sanity on trying to make you happy.
I like a little cheese on my potatoes. That wasn't going on in my head.
That's what we need more of, conversations in this country.
Yeah, I like that. DBL is all new every day.
Hey, what country do sharks come from?
Hold on, let me think about it. Tooth, gill, ova.
What was your guess?
Oh, that's a good one. Is it?
Yeah,
good job. I was trying to
Finland.
get there, man.
It's Finland.
Gill ova.
Also, Steph, cutest dress ever. Was gonna buy it from Rent the Runway. Little zoom in here. Oh, it's going away. I spilled. Okay. No, I think I can get away with it. But it's like this, and this. And we have a new wardrobe person.
I mean, is it worth the price?
Let's find out. How much would you pay for this, y'all? Because in Rent the Runway, they give you a discount, but you never know. It's like roulette. Taylor, how much would you pay for this dress to buy it?
Is it a brand? Is it a name? Is
It is.
good
It
quality?
is.
Taylor would never wear that.
It's Sank et Sot. It's called the Sweet Mint Josie dress, my dog's
Did you
name.
bring up a level,
Okay.
About the brand, like I feel like if you got that at like.
I could get it cheaper. Okay, here's the price. You ready?
I feel like it'd be 200. I don't know.
It's 154.
I don't think it's worth it.
I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it. 154. I don't think it's worth it. Are you all saying this doesn't look good?
Great.
It's not
Yeah.
$160 worth.
No.
I do feel snatched.
You do look snatched, but no.
Okay.
No.
I don't think
not
you wear
good.
it enough.
I mean,
to
the
justify
material
that.
This is beautiful. What
Thank
material
you.
is that?
I don't know.
Chiffon.
I actually have no idea.
No, it's a
to be
type of
perfectly
silk,
honest.
isn't it?
Why he wants to go back?
It is a type of silk.
to-
It's a raw silk.
I've literally.
Oh, you can see the
How
nuts.
do you know textiles like that?
Bridal salon.
I
Very strange. That's all I know, though. I know no math.
Welcome back. J-Lo is making headlines today for comments she made slamming the NFL. In a scene from her new Netflix documentary Halftime, which shows her planning the halftime performance for 2020's big game. Good, clever name.
Very clever.
J-Lo said it was the worst idea in the world to have two headliners share the stage, referring to Shakira. Of course, the pair famously paired together for the 2020 halftime show, which critics praise for returning the sparkle to the event. Neither the NFL nor Shakira has commented on the controversy.
Okay, so I saw this headline and I was like, first of all, none of us have seen halftime, so we can't say what the context.
The documentary,
of this
that's right,
is.
that's right.
Right. But I'm assuming that at the root of this statement was the idea that why is it that when you have two superstar Latinas that they have to share the stage? Why wouldn't they be given separate opportunities to be spotlighted, because it's only 12 minutes and 6 minutes for each of them really isn't enough? Although we all know, because we saw the final product and it was stellar, and we never would have even had that conversation probably if it weren't for this clip. So I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt and say that question was at the root of this statement.
Brilliant.
And I agree.
You know what? It begged the question to me when two Latina women couldn't have their own. The same thing you said. It just brings it up to mind, and I think she might have just voiced that, and I appreciate that. I don't disagree either.
No, so J-Lo said, like, if we've got two headline acts, we should both be given 12 minutes. We should extend the halftime performance so we both don't have to miss out. And she said, if one of us sings a minute only of a song, then literally there's 5 minutes left for both of us. It doesn't work. So they had to split everything down. And so she feels, like you said, and she said, there's other men that have come and performed, or bands, they didn't have to share the stage. They didn't have to split it with someone that was of an equal level. So there's no dissing obviously at all towards Shakira. It's solely the time and the fact that why should two Latina women have to split something that no one else ever has?
It just optics were weird, I thought. I thought
they did a brilliant job.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought about it like outside of that.
Well,
It's not that I wouldn't have thought about it. I clearly did think about it. But once we saw the performance, it wasn't something that was like, oh, well, that stuck out because it was so flawless.
Do you think J-Lo?
I think J-Lo would have her own time.
I think J-Lo could do that halftime show, right?
I thought she could.
Could Shakira handle that halftime show on her own?
Yes. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yo, you need to rewatch it. Okay, Shakira, yes.
Yeah,
they
but
both
for
can
6
handle it.
minutes, my hips are live. For 12 minutes?
No, 12 for sure.
Those hips
For
don't
sure.
lie,
Shakira
actually.
is a huge star with like a major portfolio behind her. Both of them could have done 12, 20. They could have done an
I was
hour.
with you.
They could have played the Super Bowl.
All right.
I didn't know. Okay.
Coming up, I'm fired, and I won't be here. But New York Times bestseller Max Lugavere. Oh, Loogie. What's up, buddy? Stop by DBL. That wasn't great. The 3 things you can do for a healthier brain.
Suffer from pain?
Throughout the 11-month investigation into the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, viewers have asked us to verify a lot of claims about the events of that day. Using these sources, I'll walk you through 2 of the more popular claims that we verified over the past year. First up, a viral claim about Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi's role in calling in the National Guard.
Was there a decision made by the Speaker not to have the National Guard at the Capitol that day?
So let's verify. Did Nancy Pelosi block the National Guard from coming to the U.S. Capitol on January 6th? The Speaker of the House does not have the authority to request the National Guard to the Capitol. That power is designated to the Capitol Police Board. And they did not request assistance from the National Guard until after the insurrection had already begun. After that request, the National Guard, activated by Acting Defense Secretary Christopher Miller, took more than 2.5 hours to reach the U.S. Capitol and assist law enforcement. So we can verify that Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi did not block the National Guard on January 6th. And second, in a statement released on December 21st, 2021, former President Trump criticized the investigation into the insurrection and claimed that the attacks that day were part of a, quote, completely unarmed protest, unquote. But is that true? Let's verify. Was the January 6th insurrection a completely unarmed protest? On its website, the U.S. Department of Justice is tracking people charged with federal crimes stemming from events at the U.S. Capitol. Verify searched through court records and found several individuals who were sentenced or charged with assault for using some type of weapon during the insurrection. Those weapons include firearms, mace, stun guns, and stolen police batons. So we can verify that the January 6th insurrection was not a completely unarmed protest. With your Verify, I'm Adiante Till.
Welcome back. We sat down with top health and science journalist and New York Times best-selling author Max Lugavere to talk all about nutrition that will make you feel like a genius. Check it out.
Hi, Max.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Max, how are you?
We're good.
So I have to ask you, what motivated your passion for nutrition? Because you're all in, man.
I'm all in, yeah. I've dedicated my life really to unraveling the science behind how our choices, including what we eat and how we live, affect our cognitive and physical health. And it began for me when my mom, at a very young age, got sick. She developed a rare form of dementia called Lewy body dementia, which it feels akin to having both Parkinson's disease and Alzheimer's disease at the same time. It's an incurable progressive condition, and it was like an atom bomb going off in my world when my mom received that diagnosis. And it motivated me to understand, to the best of my ability, why a woman at such a young age, 58, would have developed this condition in the context of the standard American diet and lifestyle. And that began an investigation about 10 years ago that'll continue for the rest of my life.
Wow. Isn't this what Robin Williams,
That is
what he was diagnosed with?
Max, I wanted to ask you, you just said it was incurable, excuse me. So why do you say dementia is preventable through your lifestyle?
Yeah, so dementia, all of the research funding goes towards Alzheimer's disease, which is the most common form of dementia. Today it affects a little bit over 15 million people in the United States. I'm sorry, 5 million people in the United States alone, 15 million people worldwide. And it's a condition that, like many chronic conditions, begins years, if not decades, before the presentation of symptoms. So by the time you show up to your neurologist with those earliest symptoms indicative of a form of dementia, chances are it's been simmering below the radar, under the surface for decades at this point. And that's why drugs to treat these conditions are minimally effective, if at all. In fact, Alzheimer's drug trials have a 99.6% fail rate. So for me, it's all about prevention. Prevention is really the new frontier when discussing these conditions. And in my view, it's really the way to move the needle on these conditions, because once you already have it, again, that's a condition that's set in over the span of decades.
It's like changing the lens. It's like, wait, let's go from the beginning instead of the end. Yeah, it's way more effective. What are some of the biggest misconceptions, though, in food? And I really was excited to talk to you about this.
Yeah, so I'm a big advocate. I think for people that are listening and watching, I think that there are 3 things that you can do every day that can significantly improve your odds. We don't have all the answers, but we certainly have some at this point. And I think, for one, it's avoiding or minimizing your consumption of added sugar. Added sugar is everywhere these days in the modern food environment. In fact, your average adult consumes 77 grams of added sugar. This is sugar for which we have no biological need. It's just pumped into our food from food manufacturers. And 77 grams on a daily basis, just to visualize that, that's almost 20 teaspoons of pure sugar. The second thing that I would say is to minimize your consumption of grain and seed oils like canola oil, corn oil, soybean oil. These are heavily marketed, high-margin cooking oils that are not good for our brain health. They easily oxidize, which is a source of inflammation in the brain. So you want to do your best to cut those out. Soybean oil, grapeseed oil, and use extra virgin olive oil as the primary oil. And then the third thing I would say is avoid refined grain products. They're everywhere today. In the aisles of our supermarkets, our supermarket aisles are lined with these refined grain products, which essentially metabolize straight into sugar almost as soon as they pass our lips.
You've got some pushback on social media for your views, but I need to know what has caused the biggest upset. What's really ground people's gears?
All the time. Well, I think the health at any size movement is a bit problematic. I'm all about seeing people at various stages in their fitness journey, but the notion that obesity, that we glorify obesity as healthy, is not smart. You can be more or less healthy at a given size, but I think we have to come to terms with the fact that obesity is just not healthy. The bigger your waist size, the smaller your brain is what correlational studies seem to suggest. So it's a big problem.
Wow, that's interesting. You were nodding a lot, Jeff.
Yeah, because my waist is getting bigger.
And your brain's getting smaller. All right, Max, we have been reading Genius Kitchen, which has got over 100 delicious recipes for brain health. Brain health, guys, it's brilliant. So DBL Nation, make sure you pick up a copy and check out Max's podcast, The Genius Life. Max, you've been genius on here.
Great
Thank
stuff.
you. Really, and
We
preventing.
need him back. This needs to be regular because this
I
is a
agree.
good thing.
It affects our viewers. It really absolutely does. Thank you so much. We'll be right back. Appreciate it, Max.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
We all want to save as much money as possible. So, is turning off your air conditioner when you leave the most cost-efficient way to cool your home? We're verifying. Our sources are Nathan Morey with SRP and the U.S. Department of Energy. On the surface, it all makes sense. Turning off your air conditioning means it isn't using electricity.
I think one of the misconceptions is that if you turn that air conditioning off when you go to work and then you come home, you're going to save a lot of money.
SRP says while it can depend on the home, generally that's not the case. Because when you are gone, the temperatures keep going up and up. And that means more work for your air conditioner.
Because your house will heat up, all the materials in your home will heat up. So then your air conditioning system actually has to work harder once you turn it back on.
So how do you actually save the most money? Well, SRP says to turn your thermostat up to around 78 or 80 degrees. In fact, the Department of Energy says the closer it is to the outside temperature, the less energy that's used. And when you leave, make sure to bump up your temperature a little higher.
Just set it back a couple of degrees, whatever you're comfortable with, and it'll help save money.
So we can verify that generally, no. Turning off your air conditioner when you leave is not the most cost-efficient way to cool your home. Have something you want us to verify? Call, email, or text us. I'm Michael Doudna.
The Families First Coronavirus Response Act was passed in March of 2020, and it barred states from disenrolling people from Medicaid, even if they otherwise would have become ineligible. In return, states received expanded federal funding for their Medicaid programs. As federal pandemic programs start to phase out, some are wondering what's going to happen to Medicaid. Verify reader Thomas texted us asking, is Medicaid coming to an end in July? So Thomas, let's verify. Our sources are the Department of Health and Human Services, the Commonwealth Fund, a nonprofit with a focus on healthcare policy, the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, a nonpartisan research and policy institute, and the Urban Institute, a nonprofit research organization focused on advancing upward mobility and equity. We can verify, no, Medicaid coverage will not come to an end in July. But what should be ending on July 15th is the rule protecting expanded Medicaid coverage during the pandemic. But people who have Medicaid won't lose their coverage on that day. That's because HHS told states it would give them 3 months warning before ending it. And that deadline passed with no word from HHS. According to a September 2021 blog post from the Commonwealth Fund and a March 2022 blog post from the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, once the public health emergency ends, states can begin to redetermine the eligibility of people enrolled in Medicaid. HHS has given states 14 months to complete that process. A September 2021 Urban Institute report estimated that states could disenroll as many as 15 million people during that period for a number of reasons, including an increase in income or administrative issues. So no, Medicaid is not ending in July, but states will be able to redetermine your eligibility once the public health emergency ends. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till.
Father's Day is right around the corner, and we've got the perfect gift for the dad in your life. Earlier, we spoke with nutritionist and lifestyle contributor Darren Mayer to get the lowdown on the Char Box. Take a look-see. Please welcome Darren to the show. Hi there, Darren.
Hey.
Good to see you. Hi. Now, the Char Box, it is not your typical grill. Can you explain a little bit more about how the Char Box works, Darren?
Char Box is an all-inclusive, portable, disposable, and recyclable grill. It makes grilling and outdoor cooking easy, healthy, and delicious. And the best part about Char Box is when you're done, there's no mess and no cleanup.
Whoa.
That is
sold.
That just like really just opens the doors to so many places that you can use this. So like, tell us where are your favorite places to use this, and I'm going to steal your ideas and pretend like I came up with them.
Well, I love taking Char Box to tailgating parties. I'm actually the hit of the party because I get all my food cooked before it's time to start the game, and the food is just delicious. It's great for cooking meat, vegetables. The natural flavor of the briquettes make your food taste even better. And it's also great for the beach, great for hiking and camping. It's so lightweight and portable. It only weighs 4 pounds.
Wow.
So you could take it with you anywhere in a bag, in your car, just ready to go and grill.
Yeah,
Jeff, this is all you.
This is all me. So I have 2 kids. This is important now. Okay, I have a question. Can I roast marshmallows on this grill as well?
That's all.
Yeah.
That's a very good question, because when I grill with the Char Box, I always have a great dessert of s'mores and marshmallows and chocolate. And you can cook all of that on the Char Box.
Wow.
Okay, I'm in.
I know.
It is so affordable. It's only $25 for the whole thing.
Wow.
You have a lot of money left over to buy your beers, your wine, your water, whatever you want.
That's amazing. 3 words: Father's Day gift. DBL Nation, get your dad a Char Box this Father's Day. They are available on charbox.com or on Amazon, Walmart, and soon to be 7-Eleven. Darren, thank you so much for joining us today.
Wow, that's
Got your name all over it.
Listen, I'm telling you, tailgating. You bring that, you throw it away, you put Tori's burrito on there.
I'm so sorry.
Tori is literally eating Thanksgiving.
Just show
at
your
the
burrito.
table.
I'm so sorry. And Rob, the camera guy, thankfully got me this. We love this place, Chiladas. It's delicious.
It's also a half-hour show.
I apologize. I was quite hungry. I thought you could hear the stomach rumble on the microphone.
Well, all right. Well, I hope you're happy.
Okay.
That's all that matters. We want you to have a good weekend
apologize.
with the full belly.
Oh, man. Thank
all
you.
Right. We'll see you guys on Monday, same time, same place. Go get yourself a burrito.